Hello everyone, it's Jeanette again. I'm coming to you from Melbourne. I'm in a hotel room and it's very lovely and comfortable. I'm sitting up in bed in my jammies, just had a shower. I'm very relaxed. It's an art hotel, so there's art everywhere. It's just lovely. So what is the point of this? Why am I luxuriating and filming the thing? Well, actually, I wanted to talk about stress, and particularly stress caused by external events that you can't control. Because I'm an autistic person, like most autistic people, I have the anxiety a lot. Anxiety is a constant backdrop to my life, and things become stressful. So I'm very relaxed now, but actually I've had a day where I've been far from relaxed most of the day. I had to take Mr. Kitty to boarding before I went away, and I was worried about him because he can be quite poorly behaved, and I was worried firstly that he'd upset the staff and be aggressive, and secondly that they wouldn't have him back. I was worried they wouldn't take him again. He was quite good when I left him there, so that was okay. Then I got home and my flight had been cancelled, so I had to take a later flight, which I hadn't expected. That was outside of my control, which was a stress. And also, when I got to the airport, there were all these tourists and they were very loud. They were from the UK. Nothing against people from the UK. I was born in the UK. But these people were older people and they were very extroverted and boisterous and they're loudly exclaiming stuff. And then the flight was a bit weird, like they came in the wrong way to Melbourne. I've never been into Melbourne from the south, and so I kept thinking we were going to miss the runway because I didn't recognise, I come to Melbourne 4 or 5 times a year, but I'd never been on that flight path, and I being stressed about life. I thought the plane was going to crash and I would all die, and I was sort of praying and saying, don't kill all these nice people, please God, I love them, they're nice, they're tourists, they're on holidays, and all that kind of thing. And then of course we were fine. But then I had to get the ticket for the Sky Bus, which for those of you who don't know Melbourne, it's like a bus that goes from the airport to the city. It's privately run. It's not public transport. It's more expensive than public transport, but cheaper than a taxi. And I thought I'll be frugal and I'll get the Sky Bus and then a tram. So when I was going for the Sky Bus, I went to the window and it said closed. So where you buy the tickets, there's a paper sign that said closed. I didn't look further than that because I'd seen that it was closed. That's what it said. So I thought, well, I must have to get my ticket from the person putting people on the bus. And I waited in line for 10 minutes. And then went up to the guy, and first of all, he thought I was trying to get out of buying a ticket, which was kind of insulting because I'm a pretty law-abiding person. I try to be ethical as much as possible, and I am very ethical, and I felt quite slighted that he would think that I was trying to rip off the Skybus Corporation. And then he was just plain rude, and when I went to get on the bus, he said, oh no, it's full, and there was only one person left, and that was me. And I thought, well, there is a chance that that's right, and the bus had exactly enough people, but it did seem he was, being mean and rude. And he looked at me. I get this look when I'm stressed, as an autistic person. I don't normally look particularly sort of unhappy or different or anything, I think, in everyday life. But when I'm really stressed like that and sort of on the verge of a meltdown, I mean, I was worried that I was going to start yelling and screaming and, it would have been ugly for everyone, especially people that didn't know me. And this is the thing, this happens when you're by yourself and not with people you know. Bad stuff can happen. People can think you're violent or something just because you're really stressed. And so I was really worried about that. And then everyone kept giving me the like, you're a weirdo look. Now, I know I'm autistic, I don't do facial expressions, but I know that you're a weirdo, Jeanette, look. I've seen that lots and lots and lots. Everyone was convinced me, and I just felt really self-conscious and terrible, and I just wanted to say to all of them, I'm autistic, be nice to me, I'm just trying to get through my day. And then, so when I was on the Sky Bus, I listened to music, I listened to classical music so that I'd calm down, and I kept reminding myself that I'd be in my nice hotel. I will be in my nice hotel very shortly. It will be okay. You will have a comfy bed and a warm shower and a mini bar with beer. It will be fine. But I really had to keep telling myself that because I didn't feel fine. And this is the thing. I'm a very outwardly successful person. I do a lot of good work in the community. I work in a responsible job, own property. People like what I have to say. People value me. People respect me. But I still have those issues with extreme extreme anxiety and with the extreme overload. And that's what it was today. It was just one thing after another thing. And by the time I got on the tram, it was absolutely packed because it was peak hour on a Friday. Now, I never choose to travel, so I'll get to somewhere in peak hour. But because my flight was cancelled, I had to get a later one. It was just, and I looked at my phone and I thought, oh no, it's 5 o'clock. And it was just hellish. But I actually thought, I've got to work with this, because if I don't, it's going to defeat me. So by the time I was getting off the tram, I was actually engaging in a conversation with everyone and saying, it doesn't get crowded like this in Canberra, da, da, da. And I was being happy, jovial, silly Jeanette, which actually managed to banish stressy meltdown Jeanette. So I was very happy to get here. And of course, this is my favourite Melbourne hotel. I come here whenever I can because it's lovely. It's comfy. They have artworks. The beds are unbelievably relaxing. You just go to sleep just lying there. And the staff are decent. So I got here and I was greeted like an old friend, and it was lovely. And I showed my book to the concierge. Yeah, it was great. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy I didn't end up on the news doing something at the airport. But it is important to remember that just because someone looks like they're coping, you just put one too many things on, it can become overwhelming. And some people don't have the strategy. Some people haven't been around for as long as me, haven't worked on strategies as much as me, and it's really difficult for them to actually manage those issues, and that's when bad things can happen. And if someone is having that issue, respect their space. Don't try and fix it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Now I'm going to go and get one of those beers and lie in bed. It's all right, it's after 6, and order some room service, and it's all going to be good. So thank you for watching. Have a great evening.